Welcome back to another episode of Four Dads podcast. This is episode 108.
I believe so.
108 now.
I'm gonna look it up, just double check, so we're not messing this up. But we are on 108. That's correct. Yep, 108.
There we go. I knew. Well, how's everything been, man?
It's been good. Was able to get around in last week, and that was amazing.
That was epic.
That was epic, dude. I'm not gonna tell you when, but yeah, I did get it in, and we got some great content, got some great shots. Couldn't believe it, honestly. And that's why you film. That's why you film for shots like that, because like no one would believe that shot. Like,
yeah, I mean, dude, that was like that. Seeing Zay, is it Zaya?
Yeah, Isaiah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so seeing Zaya make that shot, I'm like, okay, I might need to come down to Fresno sooner to play Eagle Springs, because that is unreal to see the ball come back that far and just drip the whole way.
The crazy part, not even about that shot, but the one before that we don't really see too much of, is my shot. So my shot goes and I hit it on the green. Like I literally chunk it, and I'm like, gosh, my wrist banged it, made it on the green, and I knew there was a little bit of a backstop, and then we see it, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm on the green. I think I'm like 10 or 12 feet past the hole, maybe a little bit high, and we get up there and we're driving up in the cart, and I'm like, holy crap, dude, why is there a ball like 2 inches away from the hole? Is that mine? There's no way. And I guess like you can even see it in the video if you kind of slow it down, that like it's still moving. It didn't stop when he zoomed out and we kind of went to the next shot. So it was wild. Then his was just like, I was just watching like, okay, cool, it's getting closer. Nice, that's awesome. Oh, nice. Like, and then he posted it on Reddit today on the golf Reddit. They actually just golf, and it's got like 350 or 360 upvotes so far, which I'm not surprised. And he posted like the video. He's like, hey, if you guys want to check out the full video, here it is. Here's a link for that and all this stuff. And the comments are great. But yeah, dude, it was a great time. Definitely need to get around in with you. But telling you, dude, the whites. So I know you were like, yo, dude, why are you playing for the whites? So we were playing for the whites mainly because I didn't get the front nine. We did a 2-man scramble just to warm up and everything. And then on the back nine, with our match play, stroke play, the plan was, depending on how comfortable he was, we were going to either go, I was going to give him some strokes or not. We weren't sure how we were going to do it. And on the front nine, we pretty much played pretty straight up. And I was like, I don't know my irons yet, my distances and things like that. I didn't play that well last time. I'm not too comfortable. I'm probably playing at like a 9 to a 10, honestly, based off of like just uncertainty. And I haven't played too much with my swing. Still working on getting my swing down. And he's like, I'm an 11. So he's like, I can play you straight up if you want. And he doesn't have too much distance. So I want to make it a little bit more fair in that sense. Well, hey, we'll play up a little bit, because if we play farther back, I feel like I had more of an advantage just because I have distance and he didn't. But that was mainly the reason. But it was so much fun. But then at the end of the video, I felt terrible because we were so close, I didn't have to hit like any of my irons, because all of my drives were within like 30 to 40 yards of the green if I was hitting it like decently. And like he did pretty well for the most part, but he had a few blow up holes. But besides that, like I was like, oh man, like I didn't expect it to happen. But I was so glad when he knocked that in. Not only did that a par, that was a par save, his 5th shot. Like just had a tough going. And that par 5 is difficult because the wind's always in your face, and you've seen how bad I am when it comes to holes with the wind in my face. Mm-hmm. Hole 1 at Carmel Valley Ranch to start, just shaking left into the trees. Yeah, dude, hate when the wind is in your face. But yeah, good time for sure. And Dad, you definitely need to come out to that course, because you got some great views, dude. Great views, and the greens are they're crazy.
That's so awesome, dude. That's so awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, man. I watched the whole video. It looked great. It looked like you were just ripping the driver, which is good to see you just getting after it with some confidence there. So
I found it, dude. I found it. Just hold it a little bit, push it a little bit farther out. I think I mentioned on this hole 17. I stopped for a second. I'm like, oh, need to push it out a little bit farther. I just put my arms out a little bit farther, and it's a little uncomfortable. Don't change my swing at all. middle of the club face, like
Yeah.
90% of the time. I'm like, that's it. I know sometimes I've done that with other people. Like, what was it? Last year we had that church scramble that I went to, and this
Yeah.
one guy was hitting okay, and I'm like, or he was topping it a lot, and I'm like, just tee it up a little bit more. Boom, smash, boom, smash. That's all it is sometimes. Just a little thing. Don't change your swing. Change, like the ball placement and things like that before changing it, and do exactly what you did, and boom, simple as that.
Yep, that's awesome, man. No, I will say so. Like, obviously, I've shared that I'm doing the T box challenge. That's going good. I still got to get you that drop box.
Mm-hmm.
I get the
Yep.
drop box going to share that with you. But the one thing that I'm learning that I didn't realize that I was doing before was like I was leaving my wedge face just completely open, which made sense why everything that I would hit, even though I'd hit it good, it would just stay out to the right. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm just focused on like grab, catch ball,
Mm-hmm.
release the hands, catch the ball, release the hands. And dude, I mean, I'm throwing some shots that are just like, wow, like it's good.
Impressing yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, this feels so much better. And it's giving me a lot more confidence with the wedges. And then, just trying to get the feel of the putter back since I really haven't been practicing much with it.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
that's kind of the other thing. But yeah, man, a lot of good stuff happening. We had the Masters this last weekend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a Masters! I think that was probably one of the more entertaining ones that I've watched. The final day matchup couldn't have been any better, right? Just with everything that happened from Rory making a double on one to then Bryson being in the lead, right? Going into two. And just what what a way to come back after starting off like that by Rory. I mean, even him choking on 18 to push the playoff,
Mm-hmm. Right.
just awesome. But congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's nice. I don't know when the next time will be that we'll see a Grand Slam. I'm
Right.
assuming. I would
Right.
assume the next player that would probably do would probably be Scotty, right? If he continues
Will
to.
be either Scotty, probably Brooks. I think because he has what he has the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship, or Colin Morikawa, who's got the same thing. I think no, not he's got
Yeah,
PGA Championship and an Open,
yeah.
and maybe DJ, but he's been playing too well. He's getting older. Dustin Johnson, doesn't he have the same thing, or does he only have U.S. Open?
Yeah, he has the same thing, but you know what? Like he didn't play too bad. I mean, the one thing that I noticed just because of the high winds, like the greens were firm. Every shot that people were playing, it changed very, hole by hole. Where, even Jordan Spieth was saying, he's like, all right, we got to go high on this. This is going to land soft because it's shaded, so there's still moisture in it. But for the holes that were exposed to the sun, um, they were having to land it before and just let it kind of roll out, right? And so
Yeah.
it was great to see. The thing that everyone's talking about is that kid from Arizona State, right? Peeing in Rays Creek. But also, can you believe like these have to be some of the most pretentious fans I think ever, just to be upset about the fact that the lettering was upside down on his hat. He's repping his school. It's cool.
Yeah, the people find whatever they can to be upset about. No matter what, you're gonna have people like that. And
Yeah.
the whole Ray Creek thing, I thought was hilarious. Like, I thought the best part about that was like, if people don't know, like the Masters, you're so limited on things. Like, there's not really can't have phones, right? So there's no technology stuff like that. So, and I'm sure if that's like the first time that he's probably been there, he might have been there another time before, but he probably only been there one or two times. It's so hilly as well. Like no one has a phone, which is great because that's great for you don't have to worry about ever getting caught, like legitimately. Like I got a video of him peeing in the creek, like you don't have to worry about that. But like I just thought it was great when he's like, yeah, I thought I was able to hide it pretty well until I came out and people were clapping for me. And I was like, oh no. But yeah, I mean, the whole Masters tradition is cool to an extent, but then sometimes I feel like they take it too far. Like, for example, apparently Jordan Spieth mentioned you're not allowed to talk about the mud
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're not allowed to talk about it. Like, what? okay, like come on, like
Well,
this
because
isn't like the NFL and we got to protect the shield kind of a thing where like you can't talk bad about the refs when they make a bad call because like you're
well,
going to ruin the integrity of the game.
it's
Like,
the reputation of the course, right?
yeah,
Like
but at the
it
same
seems,
time, I get it, but like you're not allowed to. Like that's just like the most petty PGA Tour kind of thing in there
there,
because like
yeah.
it's not perfection. It's probably the closest thing we might have to it course wise, at least like beautiful wise and stuff like that. But
visually, yeah,
yeah, 100%. But
but
like
yeah,
I heard that and I was like, I rolled my eyes. I'm like, are you kidding me? So what
yeah,
else? What else do we not know? Like I remember the foreplay they did like a whole thing with Brandel. He was
mhm,
talking like they're not allowed to call the fans. They have to say
patron.
patrons because and then like they can't say back nine or whatever for whatever reason. There's a few other things that they're not able to say, but it's just like I get that when it comes to like the broadcasting side of it. Totally get that. I understand that, but like it's like you're like it's like the pros where like they're not allowed to talk bad about the refs when they make a horrible call. It's like everyone sees it, or if people don't even know, but I didn't know the mud ball was a situation there. I didn't know that. You know,
Yeah,
no one really talked about it. But this was the first time where I'm like, oh, that's why we don't know about it because we weren't allowed. It's kind of
yeah,
ridiculous.
and I mean, I think it's funny too how like now the video of Justin Thomas where he blocked that ball off to the right, I think on Amen's corner, and he was like mud ball, like why they cut that right and
Mm,
of it, you know, because yeah, I
hmm.
mean, even Jordan said he's like it's a super common thing, like more often than what you would think from what aesthetically the course looks like, right? But he's like it's the way that it's cut, the
Hmm.
amount of water that's there,
Yep.
like it's 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 not something that they're supposed to, but hey, it is what it is. And I think now, we're just seeing there's a huge change going on in golf. Like
Oh yeah.
there's no doubt about it, right? And I mean, I'm even hearing rumors that Liv apparently came back to Rory after winning the Masters and saying, "Hey, we will offer you $950 million to come over." Like, and it's again, it's the game's changing, man. Like,
Hmm.
it's not the same game that we used to,
Everyone.
and I think players and patrons, right, and fans are just kind of like they want to hear the real stuff, right?
Hmm.
People want the transparency. People want to know, like, is
100%.
it really as perfect as it is? No, nothing really is, right?
Exactly. Hmm.
So yeah, yeah, for just again, you know, this has to be up there. I think with playoff wise, I think this has to be up there with probably goes down as one of the top five for sure. Um,
You think so?
I think so. I mean, dude, it had me on the edge of my seat the entire time, and I was going against Rory. I really wanted Bryson to kind of figure it
Yeah.
out,
Same here, dude.
get it going, because it was just like, dude, like figure it out. What are you doing? You know?
Dude, I mean, yeah, I mean, in general, I was definitely kind of turned off when I was seeing all those people saying that's the best Masters ever. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And I'm like, it's a good. I thought it was entertaining. Yes, like you said, it was a great. It was very entertaining. Without Justin Rose saving it, kind of to make it entertaining, I don't think it would have been as good. I mean, it's obviously good and heightened because Rory finally clinched, you know, the Grand
Yeah,
Slam after 11 or 12 years of trying. So that's obviously the pinnacle of it. But with if Rose would have maybe been like two shots off the lead and not even gotten close to a playoff, Bryson trailed off so early that it was just kind of like Rory was on his own for so long.
yeah,
And I was just like, well, okay, it's kind of obvious now that he's going to win. Then all of a sudden, Justin Rose came out of not really came out of nowhere, but like he just kept on grinding and made
yep.
that huge putt on 18. And I was like, oh crap, here we go. And then, I mean, I thought it was entertaining, yes, but like I don't think it was like one of the top ones. I think like I just mentioned before, because Rory got there and got the Grand Slam, that's why people are putting it up there on that
Yeah.
pedestal. But
Well, and I also think in the pressured situation, right, for Rory to go out and hit an even better drive than what he did in his group with Bryson, but then the wedge shot itself was just like, holy
dude,
smokes,
that was incredible.
he's locked in. I mean
Mm-hmm.
that ball never left the pin, so it's
Dude,
just that I think in that moment you just kind of saw the maturity of Rory and really all the ups and downs that he's been dealing with, all the times that
Hmm.
the course is just eating him up,
Yep.
and in that moment it was perfection.
Yeah, I mean,
The other one was where he was behind those trees and had to go
dude,
underneath. Dude, that
he had some insane shots. Like this guy
yeah,
he was like the scramble king on
yeah,
Sunday. Like it was
he just did
insane to
not
watch
go
him. You're
away.
like, oh, great, he has a bad drive. Sweet, okay, hopefully he's gonna, bogey or whatever. He's gonna great shot, hooks it around the trees,
Yep.
boom, plops it 10 feet in. I think Lou Stagner had a tweet where he's like the three shots that Rory had back to back to back. I forget which holes they were, but one of them was like I think it was the par five where he had to go down behind the trees and the water was in front of the hole. I think Bryson ended up short into the water there. It was like 1% chance of getting it as far as he did, or as close. 1% chance, 7% chance of him
Yeah.
like getting as close as he did. And like for me, yeah, I was the same way. I was more of like the USA versus, Europe. Like, come on, Bryson, come on, you got this. And then he double bogeyed the first one. I'm like, let's go. And
Yeah.
then, dude, Bryson, I don't know if he didn't get the win. I was talking to Brandon and Fraser about this a little bit. Like, the wind didn't really look like an issue because I looked up the wind during the day and it was like 5 to 6 miles an hour, which shouldn't really affect too much.
Yeah.
And he was like, it looked like he was like so happy with some of these shots, and boom, water, boom, short, boom, and it's like he wasn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on, but whatever it was, man, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. It was unfortunate. It was unfortunate to see, but I mean, again, I was not disappointed with the Masters. Um, I do agree with what the fans were saying, where I wish there was more coverage
Oh,
on like
100%.
Brooks, on Bryson,
Even on Bryson, did
shots
you see
like
that? Did you see how like everyone's like complaining? Even Lil Wayne tweeted out, they're like, "Hey, what the heck? Why can't I watch Bryson?" And everyone's like, "Whoa, Lil Wayne's a golf fan and also a Bryson fan. That's cool." But
yeah,
then within like 30 minutes or an hour of Bryson's round of that day, the Masters Twitter handle posted a video of every single shot of Bryson's round that day, like a 5 minute video of every like they heard it, but it's like why not just give us the opportunity? They have all the like U.S. Open does better, the Open has better, like all this better coverage. You have the coverage there. Again, it's good to go down to just the Masters thing, where they just want the control like
it's
that.
just the
But like,
pettiness. It's just the pettiness of that
oh,
he's not
mhm,
with the PGA, right?
100%,
Like that's what it is. I mean, you didn't see a lot of coverage of Brooks. You didn't see a lot of coverage of Cam,
yeah,
right? I mean, I think honestly, the only person that probably got a lot of coverage just because of his group was Joaquin Neiman and Sergio Garcia, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just because of who they were playing with. I mean, they didn't show anything with Patrick Reed, where Patrick Reed went on a little bit of a tear.
Did you
You
see that
know,
hole out though? That
yeah,
was that
that was
one
epic.
hop in. Oh, that was sick. It took him
Yeah,
like
that's what
30
I'm saying.
seconds to realize it went in.
Yeah, it was like stuff like that. It's just the PGA being petty, and it's like you guys got to cut it out, man. Like this isn't like a schoolyard little altercation. I mean, this is like you got paying people. I mean, dude, did you see the price tickets of how much the Masters was if you were to buy it?
I didn't. I would assume at least a grand.
$22,350.
22,000
$22,000.
for what? For what kind of a ticket we talking about? Not general admission.
That's what it was. There was a podcast where someone brought it up, and that's what the cost of the ticket was. If you didn't win the lottery, they literally talked about the lottery and then what it would be for grounds admission, just sitting on the chair.
Well, that's the thing though. Like that guy that I don't know if I showed you or talked to you about the post, but the guy who like lost his tickets or like got them
Yeah,
taken away or whatever when the lottery. Apparently, you're not allowed to sell those tickets, so that's kind of a bummer.
yeah,
Because I mean that's like half of my thing. If I win, great, I want to go, of course, 100%. But it's not that we live like Pebble Beach, right
yeah.
next to us. So like you have to make a whole trip and plan that out. And if you're not able to, well, I'd love to flip these things because you're gonna make a pretty penny, not because that's just what the plan was originally, but
Yeah. And did you see the interviews of where people were going up or uh reporters slash YouTube content creators were like going up to people um and asking them how much were you spending at the Masters, right?
uh-uh.
And the average spend was like $3,500 at the
Like in
shop,
this pro shop. Oh my gosh, dude!
in the
Did you hear
pro
about the
shop.
part train? The part train. Do you hear what he's going through right now?
Yeah, yeah, he got damaged goods.
He got his no. Apparently, they like someone stole his stuff at UPS.
Oh, I only saw the first video where it said that he got the report that his stuff was damaged.
Well, that's what they say. But
I
that's what they
I
say,
commented saying someone stole your ish.
dude. They did. They did. 100% did. Like I know where when you can see where it's from.
Yeah,
Right around that time, I'm sure the UPS guys are like, "Oh, stuff is probably coming around now." And what are they going to do? Say, "Oh, the guy stole it." Well, there's so many people that work there, like they're not
yeah,
really going to do anything. So he apparently is getting a second shot of it. Their masters have worked with him with it, but that's what it said. And I've heard the same thing when it comes to like trading cards and getting those things like
oh yeah,
graded. That
yeah,
like they're stolen all the time
oh yeah.
because they know exactly where the location is and they know that those are going to be good cards to go through there. But yeah, it's just what did they say? 74 million is how much they usually make a year, based off of the 4 day or the week that the master sells just in the pro shop alone.
No, so they make like so on the pro shop alone is like 70 something, but just on concessions, they'll do like some absurd number.
But isn't the concession guy? Isn't that the amount of money that they make is his salary for the year? Have you heard that?
I heard that was the head pro's salary for the year.
But what was it from the concession?
Yeah, from he's paid strictly off of the concessions.
Gotcha. Man, he's
Yeah.
probably been trying to get those prices up for the last few years. Come
No.
on, guys. We gotta get just a quarter. Come on. Not much, just something.
God damn you, Costco.
Ah.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, dude. Again, like really great masters. It was better than I expected personally.
Dude, tell me this. Tell me this. I was watching it on Sunday. Like I watched as much as I could, but on Sunday when watching with Rory, dude, it felt, and I know this is not true at all, but it just felt like he was trying to give it away. Like so many times, hole one, double bogey. Then he goes on a little tangent, takes the lead back. Doesn't look back. I think he's up by like 5 or 6 strokes into the water on the amen corner. Right, that's the one I think he hit in the water, and then it's just like bogey, and then he got a 2-foot putt. I know it's in the back of his head on 18 to win the Masters. That oh man, don't mess this up like you did with the U.S. Open. All you gotta do is make this less break on this one, just hit it, and then he misses it, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh my!" It just felt like he didn't want it. I know he obviously wanted it, and the pressure was there, but it just felt like to me like he didn't want it, and he's lucky that no one else wanted it more. I mean, Rose did a great job, and I was as soon as he was flipping, I'm like, okay, Bryson, you're done. I'm gonna go for Rose now. He's my only one. So trying to be the upset guy because the amount of memes that I saw this week of Roy McIlroy and it's like, hey, the odds for Roy McIlroy to win the Masters are minus 150. So that means if you put down $100 for a bet, you're gonna lose $150 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think there was a lot of areas where, yeah, it just seemed like I don't want to say the pressure got to him because it just complimented on him on his maturity, right, of learning. But
It's like the blow up holes like a normal person would have. You're just going, you're just cruising. Then all of a
yeah,
sudden you're like, what the heck?
yeah,
Where did
no,
that come from?
but I agree. I agree with you fully. I mean, it is what it is. It was it came down to the wire. But
Yeah.
kind of going to the next subject. Everyone's talking about it right now. But how crazy is it that the PGA has banned Wesley Bryant because he played in the Live Duels?
So I just think it's extremely hypocritical, especially with the news dropping today that Grant Horvat was given an exemption to play in the Barracuda Championship. I think
Yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah,
Because he was in the same exact freaking thing. He was in
yep,
the same Live Duels like event. And I think it's so hypocritical. Like seeing this, and even my wife, when I was putting down my son, she texted me like she screenshotted the picture and sent it to me like, hey, she knows that I watch him all the time. Like, hey, what happened? What's going on? I was trying to explain it. I'm like, it's a lot easier to explain it in person than over text because it's not just like he played in a live event. It wasn't really technically a live event. It just had live players with it, and live was kind of running it. And it went on Grant's channel, so it wasn't even like on live wasn't really making really money off of it, at least in my opinion, from like what they really could have. And I feel like the PGA, if they're not able to make money off you, they are just going to make you feel their wrath. Like they're going to be like, okay, well, cool, we're done with you. We can't make money off you. Like he was literally in the Creator Classic a few months ago, and we talked about it, I think, a few weeks ago, where the PGA Tour threatened these players, and then they rescinded it. And then I heard something from Phil Mickelson that everyone was rescinded except for, Wesley's, and me being still a part of the the Discord for the Brian Bros. They're commenting in there. They've been talking about it all day today. Just how like it just makes no sense. Like they didn't say it's hypocritical, but they pretty much were like, "Yo, like I guess this makes sense for him, but not for him. Like, why is it not the same for everybody?" That just
So
I don't know. What do you think?
Here's what I think. I think because Wesley Bryant already had his card, right? He technically was the only true professional on the event. That the PGA is just trying to flex and using him as an example, which I don't think that that's cool. Like that's not fair for anybody. Being that one, you just like how is it okay for Brooks and for Bryson and Cam to come and compete in majors, right, on the PGA Tour, knowing that those guys are your cash cows because we don't get to watch them all the time, right? But you have a guy who is super low on the PGA rankings, right? Yeah. He's had a few good wins, right? But ultimately, his passion is just opening up other opportunities outside of the PGA. Yeah. Right? He's not down talking it. He's not going against any rules, but it's like, why pick on someone like him?
Yeah.
Right? He's only trying to better himself and continue to have his name be relevant because I mean, the game is hard, right? The PG, like golf is not easy. And him and his brother have expressed it very openly that if you're not finishing within that top 50, like you're losing money. You have to still pay out your caddy. You have to pay out your agent. You got to pay out everybody, right? So why do that to him and basically put him in a corner and utilize him or not utilize him, but just make him an example? That I don't think that that's fair for somebody who has been so loyal and so passionate about the PGA, but also has opportunities outside of it. Why is that a problem, right? And yet just because Grant he didn't have an exemption pass yet, now he's not being penalized. That doesn't make sense, right? If you were to do the same thing for Fat Perez, how does that make sense, right?
Yep.
Any one of those guys, it's like just because you didn't grant them the blessings to say, "Hey, come play in our event," right? But the one guy who carries a PGA Tour card, he's seen as the black sheep, like, "Oh, you went against us. You went to the other side." I mean, honestly, if I were Liv, I'd say, "Hey, you know what? Screw the PGA. Here, we'll pay you. We'll give you $150 million to come over here. You own the rights to your YouTube channel. You do your thing. Make as much money as you want, and go ahead and be on a team. Like, go play. We see what you bring. Like, that's what I would do. It doesn't have to be something.
That would be huge for Liv to make that jump. Just maybe not that much money. He wouldn't even need that much money. I mean, like, you know what I mean? They're playing for $250,000 in Live duels. Obviously, that's enough money, not just content creator wise, but like to help his life, right? Like that's a lot of money for someone that hasn't had. He's won a PGA Tour. He's won over $5 million over his whole career. But
I'm just saying, like, okay, maybe that wasn't the right number, but still, even if they were to give him like the Anthony Kim contract of like
100%
of like 50 million, right? Just something. I mean, that changes everything for him. Like now he can really go ahead and focus on the things that he wants to do. Build out that golf club, right? He can finish to do what he has been, sharing with all of us and blessing us with to experience along with him.
Yeah.
And who knows what else it does? It could even open up opportunities for George to finally be able to compete and do what he wants to do too, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
just saying, that's what I would do if I were.
Oh, this is the perfect time for Liv to come up and swoop and just make the PGA look so bad.
Yeah, be like,
Like,
hey, if you don't feel appreciated, come be with us. Like,
dude, like the PGA just is doing it to themselves too. It's something that I feel like you're asked like you're asking like why would they choose him? And I feel like he's a good person to use because he's not going to retaliate. He might appeal, the process, but he's not going to come out and be like a Dustin Johnson or maybe a Brooks Koepka or maybe even Bryson DeChambeau talking about how wrong that is of what they're doing and how it's messed up and he's going to fight tooth and nail like this is for the players or whatever. Like he'll be like, he was like, yeah, like I'm thankful for what they did, like they in terms of like give me the opportunities in the past, and
yeah,
all
but
this stuff.
I don't even think he has that in his personality. Even if he was considered, like, even if he was a real contending player, I don't think. I mean, you hear Wesley Bryant the way he conducts himself in conversations. He's very grateful. He is
Oh
super
yeah.
light. I mean, even when him and Dustin were playing, he was just like, "Hey, man, like, I really can't thank you enough for taking this time out of your busy schedule, like with
Hmm.
the Masters coming
Very
up
humble for
next week."
sure.
Yeah, I mean, why? Like, that's what I don't understand is like, why make an example out of him for that? It doesn't make any sense, and it's not. Yeah, it's just fucked up in my opinion.
Oh, I agree, dude. It's really petty, very
Yeah,
very petty, and it doesn't look good on the PGA. I remember a few weeks ago we talked about it. I know I mentioned like even if they didn't send out those like threats saying like, "Hey, we're gonna cut you off" or whatever. I remember how I said like the fact that they were leaked was just like as bad as them like sending him out because we know that you sent him, and now that you've heard backlash that you rescinded it, that just sounds even worse.
yeah.
But it's just it's childish. I think though. I think he is suspended. However, I don't think it's a ban. So I don't know what the suspension means. About you, whether that's like a few year thing, a few weeks thing, a few months thing. I could be wrong about that, but I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, it'd be insane if Liv just came and swooped up like, "Hey, link up with Brick Shields. Let's do some things."
I
Like
think
every course and all that stuff. Like,
I think they should. I think you should tag Liv in this video when we put it up and just, hey, do it for the kid.
yeah, right. I mean,
Do it for him.
speaking of Grant, with him getting that exemption, did you see how he talked about it? He's like, I'm so on the fence about it. Like, I'm not sure if I want to do it or not, just because obviously,
He
of everyone, he doesn't want to make people mad. He even tweeted, like, what do you guys think? And I responded, I'm like, dude, do
take
whatever you want to do. I said, do whatever you want to do. Don't listen to anybody else. If you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. If you don't. Because
see.
one thing. One, it'd be really cool just to see how he would compare to the pros. Two, I mean, he could see how he stacks up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it'd
Well,
be cool to see that, but at the same time, PJ probably wouldn't even show us any shots. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like, dude, you have a once in a lifetime opportunity. Take it, regardless of how you place. Just you can say that you did it, and because of the hard work that you've been putting into your channel, into your business, into your brand, like that's what you're being rewarded with. Who cares if you shoot 91? Who cares if you shoot, 69? Like, dude, you're only continuing to build your credibility, right? And the first thing that I hated when he was like, "Oh, well, can I talk about it? Can I mention it?" Right? He immediately comes in with a negative and says, "Well, like I've played with a lot of PGA guys, and it's just different. It's a different game of golf." And it's like, dude, you're playing with Phil, you're playing with Dustin Johnson, you're playing with, Justin Thomas, like Rory. You got a lesson from Tiger. You're playing with legends of the game,
Mm-hmm.
guys who in their own way are one dude who has re-revolutionized golf the way that for what it is today. But
Mm-hmm.
you're also playing with dudes who are, slightly doing things differently to revolutionize certain parts of it,
Yeah.
right? Like, and you're competing with them. You're hitting
Yeah.
fairways, you're making putts. Like, that's all you need to do. It's not like when you're playing in, just like when we played baseball, right? you can only control certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And on the mound, it's the loneliest place on the entire field. So if you're
Oh
going to
yeah.
come in and be worrisome about the result before it even happens, you're already putting yourself in a negative space.
Oh
Clear
yeah.
that shit, right? Clear the mechanism, like what you hear from Love of the Game with Kevin Costner, right? It's
Yep.
you and this dude. What do you need to do to get him out,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
game of chess. So if you're gonna hit a great shot, put yourself in the fairway, you're already in a good position to potentially see higher success.
Oh yeah.
So that's my take on it. It's just like get the worry out of there. I think everyone naturally probably worry because you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in a super high level televised event. Um, I
Yeah.
get it. Everyone's gonna have those jitters, but
Oh yeah.
dude, get out there, get the dog mad, and go compete. Go do your
Mm-hmm.
thing. Who cares what everybody else thinks? Like,
I know. I'm like, dude, go for it. It'd just be cool to see him stack up. I know. I mean, obviously, he's not going to probably play too well. He might not. He probably have like a 85% chance to make the cut. So, like to not make the cut. Sorry. So
yeah,
like he doesn't make the cut. Um, just because you got to shoot like I would say 3 to 4 under maybe for these kind of tournaments because I think the Barracuda is one of those like alternate events
yeah.
that the main guys are playing at one, and this is like for the backup guys that are just still trying to grind and earn some points.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'd be rooting for him, dude. I mean, that'd just be really cool. Like a YouTube golfer makes it, and he's got decent distance. He's got all the shots. He knows what to do. It's I don't know. I mean, the PGA, like I mentioned, I don't. It'd be funny if they just threw him up there and he's like, okay, he's playing, but you don't see any of his shots.
It's a possibility, but who knows? We'll see. But overall, though, like it's good for him. It's great to see. Just go do it. Go
Mm-hmm.
have fun. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
But I was gonna say what I don't know what else to talk about.
I do have one thing I want to talk about really quickly though. What's his name? Nick Dunlap, dude. Did you see him to the Masters? A 90, and I think what a 71.
Yeah.
I think like what a turnaround. Like this dude, people were starting to say he had like the yips on like Thursday. Like he went out that night, he had his caddy get like 5 or 6 boxes of dozens of golf balls and was just hitting him out in his backyard. And he's like, I have no idea where these things are going. Like it's just such a wild thing for me to think consistently that golf is like one of those sports where you could have it one day, you could have it for your whole life. It all takes is one bad day, and you just are like, oh my gosh, I don't have my swing. I don't know what I'm doing. My swing thought's gone. I'm someone different. And then the next day, dude, this guy was shooting 3 under, I think, until like the last few holes when he bogeyed a few of them. But like, insane. Like, that is some balls, like, in my opinion, to come back and not just withdraw saying, like, hey, I got an injury. Like, that's why, I wasn't playing too well. Like, to come back and play well, like, I thought that was really impressive. Really hard to
I do too, but I mean, we have all been there. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like I think that puts golf in a nutshell. 1 minute
Oh, yeah.
you just don't know what's going on. The next, you got it, and it's always 6 inches between the ears. Like
Mm-hmm.
the better you can control that, I think the better performance, better results you're going to see. So,
No.
the fact that he put in the work afterwards is, hey, just clear the mind. Go out there and go do it. You've been doing it your whole life. You're a professional. You're one of the best. Like don't let the stage get to you. Just continue to play what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good spot to end the pod for
Yeah,
the night.
man. I'm pretty tired. So I'm here in Vegas right now. Another work conference. I got a pretty long day, but yeah, I'm pretty beat. So, it's great seeing everybody again. Thank you again for supporting us all this time. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Also make sure to check out some of our sponsors. Right, we're now with the Golf Gang Network. great deals going on with Primo right now. Awesome deals going on with Sunday Swagger. So don't miss out to get yourself something nice. Remember to always reward yourself if it's you improved by 2 strokes or you gained 5 strokes. Either way, it's going to help you one way or the other. It helps out your handicap or just makes you feel good going home to tell the wife, hey, I shot 74, I shot 81, I broke 100. So have fun. The game is the most beautiful way to truly disappoint oneself or either just have the best experience possible.
Okay, so don't forget to stay fly and go low. Have a good one.